And the pros charge off the line here in Deadwood, and Jacob Yerk busted himself out a stud boy hole shot on the number 727 Arctic Cat.
Great start for Jacob Yerk, but look who it is, the 220 Francis Pelletier makes the pass in. Here we go, down the front stretch, Francis Pelletier, Jacob Yerk, Hunter Patnode.
And here comes Elias Ischel. He's going where nobody else does on the outside. Patnode and Yerk got tied up there for just a second, and I think Ischel was able to, well, almost able to grab a spot. He's working down on the inside, still there in the fourth position, and they are beating and banging on each other behind him.
Getting all sorts of bunched up in these corners still, trying to look for some breathing room, an avenue around. That's what Hunter Patnode's looking for over the 727 of Jacob Yerk.
Oh, look at that move there. Carries Yerk out to the outside edge of the track, and Ischel will walk through the open door as well, so they bump up to second and third.
Elias Ischel trying to make quick work of the passes. Number 43, Patnode's teammate, Logan Christian, trying to force 727 to the outside.
Yeah, and Jacob Yerk took a little look over there. I don't think he was pleased with the contact coming out of that corner. So Francis Pelletier leads by a little over a second over Hunter Patnode, followed by Ischel, Logan Christian, and Cole Coutu running in the number 5 spot here in the early going.
Sometimes that's what you got to do, and in the words of Logan Christian, sometimes you got to push people out of the way to get what you want, and that's no more true than at a track like this here in Deadwood.
Ischel trying a little bit of a different line there, coming around the outside off the FXR turn, trying to draw in on Hunter Patnode. Just a couple of minutes into this one, and Patnode chasing after race leader Francis Pelletier. Business is about to pick up here at the front of the field.
Business is 2 riders, both Pro Light winners. Their last times here, their final seasons in the Pro Light class 2020, splitting the difference between a pair of wins. And look who it is, P3, Elias Ischel, chasing down the number 8.
So the top 3 work their way into that Polaris and Arctic Cat corner complex out the other side. Patnode going to the outside edge there to try to pull the triple. Meanwhile, Ischel, just watch that sled. He just lets that back end just kind of bounce around. He loves to run the sled loose like that.
And Hunter Patnode, while he was satisfied somewhat with his performance P2 in round 8 just a few weeks ago, he knows that he has the speed. He knows he's capable of more, and he wants this so badly. He's chasing that first career AMSOIL Pro win, still hunting down Francis Pelletier. And like you heard Corbin Anderson say in the Pro Light final, those first 5 laps, that's where you're really holding your breath, trying to get as many positions as you can. From there on out, you just need to put it into drive, set it on cruise control a little bit. Mentally speaking, you need to stay calm and breathe for the remainder there on out, but really hard to do when the race is this close. Elias Ischel still chasing down the number 8.
Meanwhile, fastest lap of the race has been turned by Logan Christian down to the 21.7 second range. Meanwhile, your leader Francis Pelletier, his last lap around was a 22.7.
Yeah, he is cruising. Matter of time before he finds lap traffic. There we go, getting a look just beyond the corners where Francis Pelletier will be greeted by the lappers, but 2 hard-charging sleds just behind him. You know, our race leader, Francis Pelletier, he wants to hear and see those sleds battling behind him. And Elias Ischel, he wants to see a battle shape up between the front 2, and he hopes to capitalize on that.
Well, traffic could very well play a story in this race as we are closing in on 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go. And, yep, Francis Pelletier catching the back of the field within a lap or so. He is going to be at the tail end of the lead lap and have to start picking his way through riders at the back of the field. They're going to fight to stay on the lead lap, and they're still fighting for position while the leaders are going to be trying to thread their way through.
We're only 4 minutes into this, finding lap traffic already. Elias Ischel maneuvering that sled through the FXR corner. And Francis Pelletier not able to really distance himself. Same with Hunter Patnode, that margin staying consistent here, but here's where it's going to get interesting. Lapper around the outside.
Yeah, and Patnode used that lapper to draw in a little bit. He was able to cut a good line in the corner. Ischel has not been able to clear him yet. Next rider that could go a lap down is Oscar Norm, who was on the podium 1 round ago as Pelletier chases after him, and now Ischel getting caught up in the mix there, trying to fight his way through, and he's going to get held up here a little bit, as is Pelletier, as he has not been able to clear Oscar Norm just yet. So this is going to give Patnode a good run down here toward the AMSOIL finish line jump. Norm does the right thing there, gets out of the way, of Peltier, and Peltier is able to put him one lap down and put a slip between himself and Patnaud.
And the margins between our top 3 riders, top 4 riders now, each less than 2 seconds the distance. Cole Coutu currently sitting in that 5th place position, another 2 seconds behind your 4th place rider, Logan Christian. So your top 5, Peltier, Patnaud, Ischel, Christian Coutu.
And Patnaud closing within a couple of sled lengths. They head back down past the Makita Power Tower through that U.S. Air Force Flyway section, and Patnaud might have been holding some energy in reserve, waiting for the traffic here to see if that could allow him to close this gap a little bit between himself and race leader Francis Peltier. Peltier's got more traffic ahead, and Patnaud can see it too.
And this one's bringing me back, Paul, to 2020 when the rivalry was lit up between these two. Francis Peltier, who came away with the championship by, I believe, 1 point over Hunter Patnaud. They duked it out here in the Black Hills. We're seeing that continue. 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go this time by.
And don't count out the Viking rocket, Elias Ischel. He is still within striking distance. If something happens while the leaders are trying to pick their way through traffic, Isch could be in a good spot to capitalize. Christian and Coutu still 4th and 5th. By the way, Har 6th, Benham 7th. Kern, Whitwer, and Peterson rounding out the top 10 with 3.5 minutes plus 2 laps left to go.
And Hunter Patnaud able to gain a little bit of distance, not enough. Last time by over Elias Ischel. Elias taking the line just behind him or up here where visibility is very, very tricky, especially heading into these corners. When there's these braking bumps, you're hanging kind of blind upon exit of these corners. So take a look. More lap traffic there. That looks like the 324 of Kyle Pauline.
Yeah, Pauline going down a lap, and he was running in 13th place. So that means 12 sleds left on the lead lap, 3 minutes left to go, plus the 2 laps here. And you see, looked like one of the sleds, Jacob Yerk, one of the all-finished concrete sleds, giving way to the leaders there as well. So we're getting down to nitty-gritty time here. Does Patnaud have enough in the tank? Is that ankle going to hold for him here as he tries to run up and possibly challenge Peltier, looking for his first AMSOIL Pro win of the season? Peltier looking for his 3rd.
And Logan Christian right there in 4th, who sitting in that 4th place position. His best finish of this season has been a P4, but no place has been sweeter to Logan Christian than Deadwood, South Dakota, so he's looking to get back on the podium here. Elias Ischel not able to reel in hard charging number 8. Now, is Hunter Patnaud going to be able to maintain this pace? We still have 2 minutes, 10 seconds plus 2 laps to go, especially with an ankle so sore after the incident that happened in the round 9 Round 2 AMSOIL Pro qualifier. Doesn't appear to be bothering him just yet. Francis Peltier continues to be flexing his dominance in the lead.
You could see the Ischel crew cheering on, the Theme Motorsports crew there on the side of the track. They were pumping the fists and winding up the Viking rocket, but he has now fallen back a little bit. He's about 1.3 seconds back behind Patnaud. There's more traffic ahead as we close in on 90 seconds plus 2 laps to go. That's what Patnaud has got to bank on, is that this traffic might slow the progress for Peltier enough that he can get up there and try to make a move.
Yeah, Hunter Patnaud, the pressure is on. You know he's going to be there to capitalize if Francis is caught up behind a lapper or makes a mistake. But with the performance he's put on tonight, it's not looking likely. 1 minute to go, plus 2 laps. We're going to see another lap.
Oh, and this is the closest Patnaud has been, close enough that he jams into the back end of Peltier, and it's on with a minute to go.
Here we go. This is the battle we've been hoping for. It's taken a little bit in this race. Cody Cam around the outside. Francis trying to use him as a pick. Not going to work out because Cody stays to that outside.
Watch Patnaud go for the inside here. Not close enough. Has to twist it up. Loses a little bit of ground as a result. It'll be 35 seconds to go in the combined this time. The lap time's around 22 seconds. So they're going to wind up running another 3 laps plus the lap they're on to finish this one off.
And Hunter Patnaud in his qualifier earlier tonight was surely hoping for just a few more laps, just one more is I think all that he would have wanted. But he's not going to let time escape him now. Maybe he's practicing a little bit of patience, a very good late-stage racer we've seen tonight. Does he have some tricks up his sleeve for the 220?
So the clock will expire while the racers are working their way down the backstretch. So when they come to the line, it'll be 2 laps left to go. More traffic ahead. Where does Peltier go? He'll go around the outside, and Norm Patno closes right up on him now as they charge back into the Skidoo Rhythm section.
This one's far from over. These last few laps going to feel like hours. Francis Pelletier wants this one over with quickly, especially with the pace and the charges that the number 8 has been putting forth. Francis Pelletier able to make it through that corner unscathed.
White flag will be waving this time for Francis Pelletier, looking for the hat trick. A 3rd win in the Amsoil Pro category this season. He's off the FXR turn down through this backstretch for the final time, and he gasses it out a little bit ahead of Hunter Patnode. Patnode has tried his best, but the day belongs to Francis Pelletier as he'll take the win in Deadwood. Patnode comes through for a 2nd place finish. Elias Ischel will complete the podium in 3rd. Rest of the top 5, Logan Christian and Cole Coutu. Then it looks like Emil Haar 6th, Benham 7th. 8th spot looks like it'll go to Travis.